And welcome back to looking at the shrine yet another week in a row. We're currently looking at Open-Handed, which is an ace teachable perk. Very good, and I'll explain to you why very shortly. We're looking at Hangman's Trick, a teachable unlocked by the pig at level 30. Not too great, not gonna lie to you. We got Up the Ante, increasing your luck. Gonna explain what that means as well when we get there, and Brutal Strength, allowing you to break pallets at a faster rate if you are not stunned by them. Well, even if you are stunned, you can still kick and break them quicker, but you don't recover quicker from the stun from enduring. Alright, looking straight away, Open-Handed increases the range of which aura detection abilities work by 4, 6, and 8 meters. So Bond goes 36 meters. This can add more range to the Bond, so you're going to be able to see your teammates further. It stacks on top of itself. If all of you are running it, you all get the enhancement for it. Unlike Prove Thyself, where only one person can give it to everyone, this stacks. So if all 4 of us have it, goodness me, it is huge. Now, I'm going to quickly point out, before you guys get over the moon with this, there's a perk that just got a rework recently, which is a god tier perk now. It is called Kindred. It is the solo king perk of Dead by Daylight if you're in solo queue. What does Kindred do? When a survivor is downed and on the hook, I can see, if I have Kindred, I can see where all my teammates are and if the killer's within 16 meters of the hook. Keep in mind, running Open-Handed, I'm going to be able to see if the killer's 24 meters within the hook. However, if you all run Open-Handed, it does not stack on Kindred. Unfortunately, Kindred is capped at 24 meters. Kindred is a non-teachable perk. Everybody starts with it unlocked throughout the Blood Web, so you can get it, you can get it at any level. Very, very good with Open-Handed, but then you're sacrificing 2 perks. The good thing about Kindred now is it works based off anyone being on the hook, but if you are on the hook, and your teammates don't have Kindred, they can still all see each other and the killer's aura. However, if a teammate's on the hook and you have Kindred, you can see the killer's aura and your teammates, but they can't see you. So it's a little bit of a twist there. Very, very strong perk for solo queue, and I can highly recommend it. So guys, Open-Handed isn't a bad choice. It is from the Ace DLC. I would probably look at getting it. There are a lot of aura reading abilities in the game, and it can just, you know, open up a lot of different doors for a lot of different combos. Stacks with things like Detective's Hunch, etc. So you can make a couple of cute builds. A little bit of a fun perk. Moving on to the next perk, we're looking at Hangman's Trip. Wow. What a perk. Okay, so what does this allow you to do? So basically, it affects the trapper in special ways. Whenever a trap is severed, it instantly comes back in 60 seconds as opposed to 180 seconds. That's really good. But, you know, if you see multiple toolboxes, you probably shouldn't play trapper. It's just, you know, you gotta prep, you gotta get prep and pressure throughout the board. Gonna put you in a bit of a sticky situation if you're gonna be worrying about where you're putting traps while they're gen rushing you with toolboxes. Hangman's Trick is good with a perk called Agitation, which is also a trapper teachable at level 40. So if you're running Hangman's Trip, Agitation, Barbecue, and Chili on a Billy, you can just down somebody, take them to a hook, down somebody, take them to a hook, and you can take them to the closest hook. Something very important to note about this perk is if I kill Jeff in the middle of the map using the center hook, that hook respawns in 30 seconds. So that makes that perk better than average. So that means I can reuse already sacrificed survivor hooks. So instead of, you know, I've killed 2 people in this area, I can't take this guy from the corner of the map in, or he's going to wiggle off in 11 seconds or so. There you go. You can now hook him wherever. It's good for a fast game. So if I went into farm blood points, I'd probably go either Discordance, Pop Goes the Weasel, Hangman's Trick, Agitation. I'd probably end up just going Pop Goes the Weasel, Barbecue, Hangman's Trick, and Agitation on my Billy. That'd be a fast game. Everyone would get a lot of blood points. It'd either go really good or really bad, but you'd just be able to get another game really, really quick, and the blood points will stack up absolutely very, very fast. Moving on to Up the Ante. Up the Ante increases your luck by 1, 2, and 3%. Now, what does luck mean? Now, a lot of people misunderstand luck. People think it is if you're running a perk that allows you to loot with add-ons, which is called Ace in the Hole, it increases the luck of getting better add-ons. People also think Up the Ante increases your chance of getting better things out of a chest. I'm going to confirm this for you. It does not increase your chances of being lucky. Now, every guy likes to get lucky when it comes to searching a chest in Dead by Daylight. See how I paused there? Okay, so the thing that it does do is it helps free yourself from a bear trap if you are stuck in a bear trap, much like Slippery Meat. It also allows you to have a higher success rate of cobing off a hook. So instead of having 4% by default, you then have 5, 6, or 7%, whether it be tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. Also stacks with the luck offering, the Salty Lips, which also stacks with itself. So you can get a really high chance of cobing off a hook running Slippery Meat as well. So it can be pretty cute. Do I recommend the perk? No. It is an absolute ass perk, and it's going to be a waste of your slot. But if you're up for a bit of a giggle, and you want to run a Kobe off hook kind of build without Deliverance, why you'd run 3 perks that can, Deliverance can do by itself, I do not know. But if you want to do it, there is always an option for you. Next perk, Brutal Strength. Brutal Strength is a teachable unlocked by the Trapper. So quickly before I get into that, this is a DLC perk, this is a DLC perk, this is a DLC perk, this is in the original game with no DLCs. Brutal Strength is an average perk. It works well with both Pop Goes the Weasel. It works well with itself being Brutal Strength. It goes kind of good with Fired Up, even though that's a bad perk. It also goes good with Overcharge alongside a few other choices. Now, Brutal Strength allows you to break a pallet 10, 15, and 20% quicker. Pallets recently did get a change. By recently, I mean a couple of months ago, that where when you take a pallet stun, you recover a little bit faster and you break it a little bit faster too. So that happened a bit of a while ago. So I'm not going to say you have built-in Brutal Strength, because you don't. You can obviously notice the difference in it. It is a decent perk, but you're sacrificing a slot that could be better elsewhere. So instead of Brutal Strength, why wouldn't you run Surge? I'd rather Surge, and then, I instantly kick 2 gens around me, 3 gens around me, then I break a pallet, and I just save so much time. There are better options later on into the game. It's not by all means a bad perk. You can run certain builds like Enduring Brutal Strength, and then, ooh, pallet stun break, ooh, pallet stun break, and go right through your pallets, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, I feel it's not great. Look at a Demogorgon. He's got built-in pallet break. Look at the Oni. Built-in pallet break. Look at the Billy. Chainsaw. Built-in pallet break. Leatherface, Chainsaw, built-in pallet break. A lot of people have ways around it. Spirit, Mind Game it, Nurse, blink over it. See a pattern here? There are a couple of people that do lackluster it, don't get me wrong, but I can't recommend it at all. If I did have to pick a player that I wanted Brutal Strength on, I would probably lean towards somebody along the lines of either the Doctor or the Clown. Both very weak killers in Dead by Daylight. Both have huge skill gaps, but they still are nowhere near as strong as the powerhouses in the game. The Clown, you could throw a bottle mid-loop, run it all the way around, either lunge, hit through with Enduring, and then take the stun, which is what would be the smarter option, or you can respect it and break it with Brutal, alongside the Doctor with your shock animation, force him to pull the pallet down early, or he's going to be sealed in animation, break it with Brutal, and get right up behind him. Yet again, better options on the table for the Doctor, such as Bamboozled. It's that way you can catch somebody at the God pallet in the shack without having to break it if you understand the loop. Now, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine. If I had to pick something to buy out of the Shrine, I would buy Open-Handed. This is a cute perk, don't get me wrong, it's not really worth your shards. You should save up for when Barbecue and Chili or something more cute or effective. Thrilling Tremor comes out into the Shrine. Surge, for example, Infectious Fright. Up the Ante isn't that great, and Brutal Strength isn't that great. If I would personally buy none of this stuff, I can't afford it. I don't have enough iridescent shards anyway. I wouldn't buy any of it. However, if I had to pick something, Open-Handed, it can open up so many different builds, man. It stacks with a lot of perks. It stacks with Empathy, even though Empathy's 128 meters. Not sure why you'd want it. It stacks with things like Open-Handed, which is itself. Wake Up. A lot of different Survivor doors do open. You might find a little fun build, and it could work with some aura reading abilities that come later on in Dead by Daylight, which, who knows, maybe they will. I'm sure sometime we'll see them. Anyways, guys, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine. If you learn anything, or if you want to hang out in the live streams that we do over here at Twitch, guys, don't hesitate to pop on in. We do stream DVD 5 days a week, and we're an educational killer in Maine. It'd be a pleasure to see you guys over here and in the fog. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.